I'm LaDonna with Home Sweet Home Treasures. This is my boo-boo girl, and we are out treasure hunting today in Whitewright, Texas. Let's see what kind of treasures we can find. Look at this car that's out while I'm treasure hunting. Isn't that unique? It is a Plymouth. Look how cute that is. That's a beauty. Nope, didn't buy that, sorry. All kinds of treasures. Just wanted to kind of show you a few. Look at all of this cute stuff. Look at there. All right, you guys. Hey! Hi, everyone.
Happy Thursday. Happy Throwback Thursday to you, to LaDonna. Hi, LaDonna.
Hey, Olivia. So glad it's Thursday. Yes. I love Thursdays.
I do too. And I'm so excited for today's segment about coastal cool. And, we had just finished off recently with summer vibes. So I think this is a great transition going from summer vibes now into coastal cool and exploring this color palette today.
Yes, yes. When you say coastal cool, the first thought for me is blue, sand, ocean, water, seashells, but somebody else may think of something different with coastal cool. But that's my thinking when I first see the words or say them. How about you? What do you think?
Oh, I think of like tropical fruits. I'm always eating. So tropical fruits, ocean waves, and of course birds.
Yes. Yes. Beauties.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Beauties. Happy. Yes. And this is going to be a fun segment. And, coastal cool doesn't have to be just paint, even though we are doing this off of the Sherwin-Williams palette. It's also about our clothing, as I can see that you have your blues on today. I have my blues on. And so you can do coastal cool colors with your clothing, jewelry, shoes. It doesn't have to be just painting.
So yes, so we want to hear from you. What do you think of coastal cool? So when you hear those words together, what comes to mind for you? Please explore that with us and share it in the comments, share it in the chat, and we would share your comment on the screen as well. So coastal cool, what comes to mind for you? And of course, since this is Throwback Thursday, share with us your favorite Thursday moments, favorite Throwback Thursday moments or special memories, etc. Please let us know. We'd love to engage with you. Drop us a comment, say hello, say where you're watching us from. We would love to connect and network with you too. So get that chat going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's hear your thoughts.
Excellent. And I love this jacket, LaDonna. This color just screams like summer to me. And you may not know, but this material looks like suede. It feels soft like suede, but it isn't. It's actually made from recycled water bottles.
That is so exciting.
Isn't it exciting? And so I'm so happy. I'll read the clothing tag here. The culture recycling boom enables us to make this from 2 recycled plastic bottles. And of course, they have some probably mixed fabrics, but I think like how innovative that is, right? Nowadays for fashion conscious, that we can look at other materials.
Absolutely. Materials. Yes, absolutely. I'm all about recycling. Yes. Love that. And you can't tell there's bottles in that fabric.
I know, it's not plastically feeling. What did they used to have back in the day? I remember the 90s. You remember pleather?
Yes.
It was pleather plus plastic, so they made this whole thing called pleather.
Yes.
So that had a weird feel to that. That was a weird texture.
Yes, that was a weird texture. Yes.
But this one, it's so soft. Like I just can't help but feel myself because it's just so soft.
And I'm all about soft. My fabrics now have to be soft. I don't want anything that makes sounds or stiff. I just want soft.
Excellent.
So no pleather for me.
And I don't know about you, but I love like walking the beach, collecting seashells. Look at this, like
Yes,
seashells
absolutely.
and sea glass. And I love this pendant. And even though
Oh,
it's
I
like
love that.
it's pretty
Yes,
reflective in the light. And it reminds me of sea glass and like, going with my little bucket
yes,
and
yes,
collecting little things. Shark's tooth. That's a
yes.
summertime favorite activity as well too.
Absolutely. And then I have a little necklace on and it's a little heart. And my grandsons gave me this one year for Christmas and it has the blues and the bling bling, clear bling bling in there with it. And I just think of that because I love the ocean. I love water. I don't care. Lake, give me a good bath. I don't care. I love water and that heart just reminds me of the beauty. When you go to the ocean, I just feel like it's all beauty.
That's a perfect memory for Throwback Thursday. Like, wow,
Yes.
what a special gift, right?
Yeah.
So share with
Yes,
us
I've had it for years. Yes.
share with us in the comments too if you've got a special gift that was given to you years ago that you want to bring back and reminisce with us, because there's something to be said, like when you touch it, when you feel it, you can recall that moment, that sensation, that feeling.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
they have good taste if they got you that.
Absolutely. And like I said, I've had it for several years. Yes.
Wonderful. And something that's been on our minds is all the unfortunate school shootings, right? So school shootings are going on. I saw a post the other day, LaDonna, I think I tagged you onto it, about the long list of all the schools that have been affected. Because in my
Right.
mind, I think about Sandy Hook, that happened in Connecticut, up north where I'm from. And then most recently in a town not too far away from you in Texas. But there's been others, like there've been so many others like Columbine, etc. And it just makes you pause and wonder, like, what's going on.
Right. Exactly. And we just have to keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers. However you may pray. It doesn't matter. Just have the thoughts for those families.
And so this brings me up, we always wonder, like, okay, is that it? What can we do, right? What can we do? And something that you guys can do is help us with referrals. We are looking for nominations for our next fundraiser. So if you know of a school in need or families that have been affected by, school violence and whatnot, or, if you know of any organizations that provide mental health resources for families that have gone through this traumatic event with losing a child as a result, or even kids in school having dealt with losing their teachers and friends in this way, please let us know. So the nomination forms are on the website. So we'd love to hear from you about, what causes that you know of that we can partner up with and do our next fundraiser.
Yes, it would be great if we could jump on board and get a fundraiser going for the Texas families. That would be amazing.
Yes, yes. So keep that in mind. And because it's, the children are our future. I think about that Whitney Houston song, and
Yes.
it's true. Like, what are we doing? We're talking about Throwback Thursday, but then there's also the element of like, how can we protect our earth? How can we protect our society so that the next generation coming up has a place to live?
That's right. And we
And
want it to be a positive place
yeah,
to live.
and we want to be a positive place to live. And I think, LaDonna, that's why you're so passionate, right? About promoting what you promote, about reusing, recycling, reducing, and
Absolutely.
offering
We've
things
got
away.
to get our landfills under control, our waste, and we hope that you learn something each and every week from us about reusing, reducing, recycling, and going back to, and that's one way that we fundraise. We're helping some area out in our society, and it doesn't have to be local. It can be the next state over. It can be worldwide. So let's get some fundraisers going.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, LaDonna. Just want to give a shout out to Chandra on LinkedIn, all the way from
Hey,
India. LaDonna, we're in
excited.
India.
Yes. Hello, India.
So, Chandra, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for this lovely comment. It's nice to see happy people out here.
You're at the right place.
Yeah, and there's so many reasons to be happy. When you think about it, I mean, I do a gratitude laughter exercise, right? Like this, and just appreciation laughter, and then counting off on all the 10 fingers of what I'm grateful for. And it just brings me back to reality. It's like, wow, like there are so many things I can be happy and grateful for if I just learn to
Yes.
cut them off.
Yes, absolutely. We have to make it count and make it count being happy. We can
Exactly.
always turn our frowns upside down. We learned that in elementary school, and but it's so true. So, and we get, and that's why we pick these colors, because it brightens you up. You go and you search for those colors, and it reminds you of something. Like this necklace reminded me the grand boys that bought it for me, but then the heart also, the love for them, but also I love to go to the ocean and be around the water and hearing the waves. Again, that's just another way of being happy, to reaching out, and don't be afraid to step outside your box sometimes to make it happen.
Exactly.
So yes.
So Chandra, thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, India is definitely on my bucket list of places to travel to. I know that our colleague Juanita Harvin was
Yes.
just there. She was just there in India, and we got to travel along with her with all the beautiful pictures. I mean, she learned how to wrap a turban.
Yes. Oh, and the
And,
pictures are so amazing.
yeah,
She had a great
amazing.
time. I think
So
she just left
Juanita,
there yesterday, I think.
she
So
left yesterday. She's in Nepal now, and Juanita, we just can't wait for you to come back.
yes,
I know
and
you
tell us all about it. Yes.
She probably doesn't want to come back because she's having so much fun. But Juanita, we would love to have you come back and regale us with all your travel adventures. And, it was just so wonderful to see all those pictures from India and of her trips. And so, Chandra, join our conversation. Let us know, what do you do to keep happy? Do you have a favorite Throwback Thursday moment of something that you or your friends or family do? And what you think about our color scheme today with Coastal Cool. So I know it gets really hot in India, so how do you keep cool? Let us know.
I know. I think Juanita said it was like 104 there the other day. And I
Gosh,
thought, wow. And she was out still enjoying her time there.
indeed.
And, with your coastal cool colors, we talked about clothing, but we can talk about paint and, what are you going to paint? Are you wanting to paint a wall? Are you wanting to paint an item? That's something to think about when you're needing a lift. Painting a wall can really help you,
Excellent.
whatever color it may be.
And I think LaDonna's going to prepare something for us. She's got 10 great ideas to help you get started with painting. But before we go into that, every Throwback Thursday, we're going to pick a card from this deck, 100 Ways to Save the Planet, right? Because we want to make it a positive, beautiful planet for the next generation. So hopefully these tips that we give you each week are going to be useful. So here we go. This is what we picked out for you today.
Yeah. And I think last week was recycle, right?
Buy vintage.
Oh, buy vintage. That was it. Buy vintage. Yes.
And what better place to buy vintage than through homesweethometreasures.net?
Exactly. Exactly. We have such a wide variety of items, from clothing to serving dishes, different chinas. You would love it. Just get there and go through. Yes.
And browse. Take a look around.
Yes.
So today's card for 100 Ways to Save the Earth is number 49. Turn off the lights.
And I'm horrible about that. I go to the room and I turn on the lights, and then I forget to turn them off when I get ready to leave.
Yes. So, Donna, when you aren't in the room, there's no need for lights to be on when you're not using them. So I'm constantly telling my nephews and nieces.
Yes. I'm going to have to work on that. Yes. I bet I'm not the only one.
Yeah. When they go from room to room, they got to turn off those lights.
Absolutely.
So be mindful of this tip today and use it.
Yes. Turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights. All right. So I'm going to spotlight LaDonna now so she can share with us all her wonderful ideas. So before you paint, here are 10 great ideas. So here we go.
All right. So let's come up with what you want to paint. Is that going to be your entire room? Which room will it be? Or will it be a wall in a certain room? You know, you don't have to paint every wall in the room. You may want to paint just one wall or one area. Or maybe you don't want to paint a wall. Maybe you want to paint an item, a vase, a picture frame, a plant, a planter. So decide what you want to paint. That's the most important thing. And then just think about one thing at a time. Don't overkill it. Is number 2. Think about what one item you want to paint or one wall. Don't think about too many at a time, because then you get confused, and then maybe you'll start one project and then not finish it and go to the next. Number 3, really think about what color inspires you, brightens your smile. It's an inspiration. It makes you have a laugh, maybe a memory. So think about that before picking out a color. Number 4, don't be afraid to change. Maybe you've always had off-white walls and you're scared to paint a wall blue or pink or green or yellow or orange. Step outside your box. When you step outside your box, you're kind of peeling off a layer of you saying, I can do that. I can paint a wall different and it's okay. And I love the idea of doing it. So it's just about the way you feel, but step out of the box and don't be afraid to change. Okay, is your space a small space or a large space? That's number 5, because if you're painting a small space and it's dark in that area, you don't want to go in there and paint it a dark color, because if you do, it's going to make that space look even smaller and it's even going to become more darker. So paint that area a lighter color so that it will feel larger and it will brighten up that area. I have a little space where you enter my front area and it's got the stairway. It's kind of dark there. So I had to be really careful when we repainted not to go too dark. So I had to go a little lighter than what I really wanted. But you know what? Once I did it, I love the color. And it did make it feel brighter and larger in that area. Number 6, we all hate to do it, but you have to clean your wall or walls before painting, or if you're painting a bench, it doesn't matter. You have to clean the area. Your paint will not look as good if it's dirty. If you have like little nail holes or little blemishes on your wall or on your footstool or vase or whatever you're painting, spackle it or use a caulking. You might have to do a little sanding if maybe something's too rough or doesn't look just right. Prepare your wall or your item before painting. Number 8, what kind of finish do you want for your area? You know, if you go with a gloss paint, that is going to be your paint that's going to be the easiest to clean. So if that's the area where your kids play or the dogs come in from the yard, maybe you want to do it in a gloss or a semi-gloss so that it's easier just to wipe down the walls, okay? A lot of people go semi-gloss, and you can do that. It's just going to be a little bit harder to clean. If you go flat paint, it's going to be really hard to clean, just to wipe down with a cloth. Number 9, you will want to make sure that your paint has a primer in with the paint. If it does not, you should prime your walls before you paint them. When I paint, I'm a little lazy. I just make sure my paint has primer in it because I do not want to do it more than I have to. I do not want to have to paint that wall more than I have to. Same thing if you're doing a bench or a vase or whatever it may be, you need that primer. All right, number 10. The most important
We are on the edge of our seats for LaDonna to reveal number 10 to us. Stay tuned. Oh my gosh, she was so into it. But I think this is what happens when you just get so excited and the internet bandwidth is not able to keep up for whatever reason. But LaDonna, please come back and reveal to us number 10, the most important paint tip. And Chandra, thank you so much for joining us, Chandra. You are awesome, and thank you so much for just contributing to our conversation today. I love that you wrote here that your pets, the cows that you have, are what makes you happy and keeps you happy. So that's very endearing to hear about that. Because animals have a certain level of vibration as well, and they just whenever you see them, they can make you happy. So I love that. Awesome. Excellent. All right, so we're just waiting for LaDonna to come back. And while we're doing so, I would like to wish everyone happy Red Nose Day. I mean, we talked about children just now, and there's an organization through Comic Relief. I believe that's what got started, and then it's become a holiday, Red Nose Day, and it's a big campaign for children's health and well-being, and particularly to help alleviate childhood poverty. And so this is an organization that's bringing attention to those core issues. And so I encourage you, if you are in the U.S., you can go down to Walgreens and grab one of these red noses. Yes, so they sell these for $1 and it goes to the campaign. You can find more information about the Red Nose Day on this website, rednose.org, rednoseday.org. And wear your red nose today in support of this charity. Ta-da! Laughter is the best medicine. It is a way to give a mental rest for yourself, and it's right under your nose. So Red Nose Day. And something else that I discovered, we were just talking about it with another good friend of mine, and that it kind of looks like a stress ball. So even if you did not want to wear this red nose, you could also just keep it in your palm because it has a really nice rubber texture. And it's the same material possibly as a stress ball. And so you can even just use it when you're feeling stressed out. Like when your co-host disappears from the live stream. So hopefully she will come back because we're just waiting to hear what number 10 is going to be for her great paint ideas and tips. So I'm just going to squeeze my stress ball red nose and laugh through it. And as with any segment, today we are exploring for this entire month paint magic. And we have been very inspired by the Sherwin-Williams and HGTV color palettes. And this is what we picked up in the store. And today we're going to talk about Coastal Cool. So this is the Coastal Cool collection. And, we were coming up with some decor ideas, outfit ideas. I tried to match his jacket with this color. I think I did a pretty good job. Yes, this color. This is cool blue. So it does match my jacket from today. And what LaDonna has been doing through the week is pulling together items. We had talked about it earlier. What do you think about when you hear Coastal Cool? And so we talked about, all the sands, the browns of the sands, the cool blues of the water, seashells, and different types of patterns. And so she has pulled together some amazing items that we're going to reveal now for you. So I'm going to go ahead and cue that up. This is the segment of the show that we like to call Favorite Items Reveal. So stay tuned. 1 second here. So Favorite Items Reveal, and I'm going to play the video that LaDonna has prepared.
first item is a pillow sham, and look at this silky sand color. It is quilted, and there is only one of them, and it is a pillow sham. So it is for a king size pillow. Look at that. It is gorgeous. You can see all of the quilting in there. And then look at this. This is a cutie. I believe it was probably handmade by someone, just by looking at it. But see, it even has the sand. It feels like sand here on these edges. It's not glazed right there, but over here it is glazed. And you can see where they brought in the blues. And of course it is glazed on the inside. And this would make a cute, cute trinket bow, potpourri. Put your little glass beads in there. Really nice. And it goes with just about everything. And then look at this cute butterfly picture frame. This is custom made, one of a kind. It has the white flowers with some green, with the green wood frame. The flowers are white. And look at this beautiful tie that I brought out with all of the sandies, with the silvers and blue colors. Gorgeous tie, and that would just go with just about anything. A black shirt, white shirt, blue shirt, khaki colored shirt. That's just cute, and it's beautiful. And look at this nice wooden welcome sign. It does hang. Look at that. And it is 3D. The welcome is probably glued on to this canvas here. This is canvas. This is wood here of some kind. And then the welcome is also wood. Very nice. And it could go with coastal cool for sure. Look at those blues and browns, the different shades. And here we have a seashell vase. Look at that. Now this is vintage. It is glass. And then I just put in this variety of flowers. And they are silk flowers. You could add whatever flowers you wanted to it. But it is a cute, large seashell. Look at that. Okay. And then look at this beautiful, beautiful jewelry box. It is a silver tone. But look at all the birds and the vines and tree limbs. Look at that. I am sure this camera is not doing it justice, but it is absolutely beautiful. And then you open it up, and you do have jewelry compartments. Look at that with the mirror. But you know, you could always pull these compartments out and use this just as a trinket box, or leave the ring holder in. That's fine too, and use it as a trinket box, jewelry box. Savings box, whatever you want, or just use it for decor because it is absolutely gorgeous. And look at these two vintage birds. Now, doesn't that scream coastal? Look at that. Beautiful. These are a pair. Look at that. Beautiful. Now, for our seamstress or our crafting people, look at Hobby. Look at there. She is a beauty. She's got the cat, she's got the blues and the browns, and I've also added this khaki fabric to go with it. So it has two panels, so you could easily make your pillows out of it. Use the front with Hobby on here, and then look here. Then we have our khaki fabric. So cute. Or, you know, you don't always have to use pillow panels for pillows. You could always make an apron out of this and do this as the pockets with the khaki as the real apron. There's so many uses that you can make, and this is a hard to find panel, and it is a vintage panel. There are two panels that come with that pieces. You know, you cannot go wrong with wicker baskets of any kind. Look at that. You can put bread in there. You can use as a trinket basket. You could add your favorite plates in there, whatever it is, but they make fabulous decor or usable. And look at this beauty. It is glass. It is blue. Look at all the swirls. Perfect candy dish. There is no markings on it, so I'm not for sure where it came from or I really don't have any details on this dish. But it is a beautiful dish you could use for a decor piece. Like I said, add candy to it, add your glass beads. So many great uses. It can be a serving dish. It is glass. Beautiful.
Wow, I am so impressed once again, LaDonna. I mean, isn't she just an awesome personal shopper? Can you imagine you consulting with LaDonna on things that you want to paint in your house or on things that you can come up with? She's very crafty. And I just love her ideas about what you can do with fabric, making aprons or pillows, and or even just, nice designs with these pieces of fabrics. And also just thinking outside of the box, right? So even early today when she talked about some ideas to help you get started with your painting project, to be okay with experimenting and to think outside the box a little bit, especially that trinket dish, right? So the trinket dish, the jewelry box. The jewelry box by itself can be a beautiful decor item. Can be a centerpiece at the table, or even one of those icebreaker things. You could use it as a way to hold items together, like a trinket dish, and take out the compartments inside, or leave it as is, right? So always kind of giving you ideas about ways you can think outside the box, making things multifunctional, multi-purposeful, etc. And so just now, I mean, she inspired me with that. I have this beautiful blue, this is a jewelry box. So this is a jewelry box. I'll show you the inside. And it is completely vintage. And I love this color because that's number 10 tip of LaDonna. So if you were following along before with her 10 great tips, what to do before you paint, the number 10 tip, the most important one was choose a color, right? So choosing a color that makes you smile or brings a special memory, and choosing light or dark colors, being mindful of your space. You want to create an open space, etc. And so this is a jewelry box, has the mirror, and then also has this compartment. And I can take these out, if so, and maybe replace the bottom, right? And maybe replace this with maybe another velvet material or whatever else I can think of. And I also really like the size of it. I mean, it's not too small and not too big that I couldn't make it into a clutch. So I actually like to just carry it around with me because it fits my notebook, it fits my pen, it fits my phone, my money, and I can just take it around with me. And it's just really decorative, looks like a professional clutch. And it's not that heavy either. So it's not that quite heavy. It's pretty sturdy. And I love the feel of it because it's a velvet cover. But, she's given me so many great ideas already with things that I have. So instead of just making this a jewelry box, I can actually carry it around with me as a clutch. So hopefully this segment has been enjoyable for you. And good things, we're always prepared. Good things, we have show notes. So even when your co-hosts disappear, it's okay. And that's what happens when you go live. And we just got to roll the punches. With that being said, if you are waiting for your code word, the code word today is cool. So cool. So go ahead and type in that code word cool on homesweethometreasures.net. And with this code word, you'll get 15% off your order. And it's valid for all of tonight, Thursday, through Friday, tomorrow at midnight Central Standard Time. All right. And as always, it's flat fee shipping. So you can order as much as you want and not having to worry about the weight, right? So you can order, and it's $5 for US, $10 for international. And please stay tuned for next week. Next week, we're going to explore another color palette, also from the Sherwin-Williams and HGTV collection. And this is going to be calling Fashion Forward. Yes, so Fashion Forward. So tune in next week for Throwback Thursday and just give you a sneak peek of the colors that we'll be using. Here you go. Look at this. So vibrant. This is what we call Fashion Forward. And so LaDonna's going to be hard at work again, pulling some different items from her inventory, from a warehouse, from storage, to show you what's available on the website for sale. And thank you so much again for watching this episode with us. And we are seeking nominations, as we said earlier, for any causes that you can think of, especially now to support families that have been affected by the school violence, school shootings, etc. So please send us your referrals. put them in the comments, reply to this live stream. If you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay, please. And with that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Remember to keep coastal cool.